Hey kids, and welcome to this bonus super short Dueling Rabbits Productions video. It's not about drawlooms or any of my usual topics, but it does demonstrate an answer to that burning question: how, when winding a warp with multiple ends in my hand, can I produce a 1x1 threading cross? There are several ways to accomplish this feat, but when called upon, I favored this one, a variation of the procedure I learned when I took a break from Swedish methods at the remarkable Marshfield School of Weaving. First, the setup. Lacking as I do a scarn or other antique spool rack, I employ an upside-down wire basket with wooden dowels passing through it. I suspend my cones of yarn from these. You can see here that I am winding 6 ends at once, 3 red ones on the left, each paired for illustrative purposes with a blue cone on the right. I have my cones arranged in 2 columns and could stack as many as I liked, or even lay the apparatus on its side, but the important thing is to arrange the packages in ranked pairs with a clear space between them. When the ends are drawn out, the individual threads should be clearly visible in their layers, even to a weaver wearing progressive lenses like mine. The cross is formed before it is transferred to the warping board. With my left hand, I draw back all 6 ends, ensuring reasonable tension off the cones. I temporarily secure the ends with my right hand, while I take my left index finger and insert it into the space between the 2 columns. In this case, all the red ends are to the left of my finger, and all the blue ends are to the right. Now, I will make the cross with my right hand, starting at the top and working my way down. First, I pass my right hand under the topmost blue thread on my right and capture the topmost red end with the hook of my finger. I draw the red end out from between the topmost blue thread and the one below it. Next, holding on to the red thread all the time, I pass my right hand under the second blue end and capture its red neighbor. I draw that thread out from between the second blue thread and the one beneath. I repeat the process a 3rd time. Under the bottom blue thread, hook the bottom red thread, pull the red thread out from underneath. I now have my cross with the blue and red threads alternating. At this point, I must prepare the cross to get it onto my warping board. There is an elegant one-handed way to do this. Keeping my left index finger where it is on one side of the cross, I insert the thumb of the same hand into the loop on the other side. I now have the cross preserved between my left thumb and index finger, ready for the next step. Here it is again. Index finger in the space between the columns of threads. Under the top blue thread, over the top red thread, draw it through. Under the middle blue thread, over the middle red thread, draw it through. Under the bottom blue thread, over the bottom red thread, and draw it through. Thumb to preserve the cross. You can see how cones can be stacked or lined up into the distance, and the procedure will still work a treat. Color changes are a breeze with this method. As with all things, practice makes perfect, and with experience, a pretty good head of steam can be achieved. Once the cross is made, it's a pretty simple matter to get the cross onto the warping board. When winding from left to right, my hand stays in its original position with my thumb to the right. The cross slides off easily onto the pegs, and I continue on my merry way, winding as usual. When I am retracing my path from right to left, I rotate my hand so I do not twist my cross, always ensuring my thumb is pointing in the direction the warp is traveling. The result is a tidy 1x1 threading cross, and, for when such a thing is desirable, this technique is a very, very cool thing to have in the proverbial toolbox. Try it sometime, and you'll see.